All right, speaking of numbers, Rob G, one team in particular usually does great ratings and numbers, but Rob's hating on them.
Yeah, that's big facts. The Kansas City Chiefs have, we say it, they have supplanted the Dallas Cowboys as America's team in the NFL, right? Of the top 100 broadcasts in 2025, the Chiefs had 17 of them. Of the top 5 most watched college or NFL games last season, or in the 2025, the Chiefs played in 4 of them. So by all accounts, they are the biggest draw in the NFL.
You know what people always say? Be
What's
careful
that?
what you wish for, because the Chiefs not making it. You
So
heard
they-
that?
and
Be
so-
careful what you wish for.
That's interesting because the Chiefs famously missed the playoffs this year. They are not in the postseason. They didn't play a wild card
I
round. They
think I
will
got
not
that
play in
one
the
right,
divisional
didn't
round.
I think I got that one.
Shut up, Rob.
Elijah is in the other room. Leave him alone. Anyway, Elijah, is my mic on? Can you-
And so
HRU.
you would think without the golden goose that the NFL ratings would have taken a big bath, but not so fast. Guys, every single wild card round game, save the Patriots-Chargers game, was up big year over year. And one thing that they all have in common, no Patrick Mahomes, no Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm not shocked. And I've said this before, Kelvin, as much as they were a ratings bonanza for the NFL, there comes a time. We've seen it with a lot of great teams. And I'll give you examples where people just get tired of the story and seeing them. They're just you can get tired of watching the team no matter how good they are. And then again, this wasn't the same Kansas City Chiefs circa Patrick Mahomes year 2. You know what I mean? When he finally started and he threw 50 touchdowns and they were throwing the ball down the field. You were like, oh, my God, like, what is this, right? Go look it up. When the Celtics were winning all those championships in the 50s, their attendance went down. When the Yankees went to the World Series 8 out of 10 times in the 50s, their attendance went down. Like when the Atlanta Braves, let's do it more modern, Atlanta Braves, when they won 15 out of 16 National League East division titles. You heard me, 15 out of 16. Near the end of that run, they used to have empty seats for playoff games because people had been there already. You know what I mean? Like, it was a thrill. Man, this is awesome. I'm taking off from work. Oh, yeah, I did that for the last 4 or 5 years. Now here's year 9, right? I can't take off tonight. I saw them win. I've been to a playoff game. Like, it can do that. And I think in this case, this opened up NFL America to see a lot of different teams. And the other thing that I think made this postseason thus far so exciting is we don't know who's going to win. We really don't. Not only do we not know who's going to get into the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl, we don't know from game to game who's going to win. We don't. Is the Packers going to win, right? Or the Bears going to win? Did we really know? Seattle's the favorite in Vegas. Nobody. Who's picking Seattle? People are like still, in limbo over Seattle. They're like, yeah, we know they're good, but are we really picking Sam Darnold and the Seahawks? So that's why I think we're where we are, and I'm not shocked that no Chiefs, no problem.
That last point was the best point to me, Rob, that this season, we've been saying it for the last handful of weeks prior to the playoffs. You're like, man, I think the Rams could win. I mean, but dang, are the Patriots real? Okay, Broncos can't be this. Could the Bears real? I mean, it's been one of those seasons where you could convince yourself 5-6 teams could win it. I mean, shoot. 3-4 weeks ago, we're like, man, if the Ravens mess around and get in there, you know what I mean? It was one of those
and people
seasons
believe
where,
that too, right?
Yeah,
if they win a division and back in, you know what I mean?
You never know. So, but where I will push back on that is, imagine if the first round last weekend would have been Bills Chiefs. That would have broken all the records, because can Josh finally do it? Or is Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, is it finally over? Had it been the Chiefs Steelers, is this the new young king
I don't know
going to take over, the old guy Aaron Rodgers? I just think that
those games this past weekend were tremendous.
They were no.
I can't see. I really can't Like
But
the Bills
we're
won on
doing
their
it
last
because
drive. No, I'm just saying like the games were all except for that last game.
The games were incredible. What I'm saying is we're doing that because we saw the games and they ended up being incredible. I'm saying going into that game, going into the playoffs, had I told you it would have been Chiefs-Bills, that would have been crazy. Chiefs-Steelers would have been crazy because you got the new guy who's been running it for the last 5 or 6 years versus a guy who ran it for a decade or so in Aaron Rodgers. There would have been so many storylines. So the NFL is a behemoth. Point blank, period. We know that. Like, it ain't one monkey ain't going to stop that show.
Only because of gambling. It's a gambling league. We know
it. Right. But I'm saying one monkey, fantasy and the gambling, absolutely. It's just a behemoth. We know that. I mean, Super Bowl is dag near an American holiday. 140, 50 million people are going to watch it. What do you mean? Yeah, for you. You're going to be watching it.
I'll watch it, but it ain't no holiday. Well, it's a Sunday. What holiday is it?
Are you watching the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Have you watched the Super Bowl for the last 60 years of your life?
Ever since I had a TV set, I watched
it. So it is a holiday that you participate in like everybody else.
But there's 300 million people in the United States, and you're talking about 120 going to watch it. Where's the other 200 million? What are they doing?
They're 2 years old or 98 years old, Rob. They don't count. Okay. I'm talking about the rest of us from the ages of like 12 to 70. We're all watching. But so I just think that I totally get the idea of a run becoming, the Warriors run at the end. You're like, I'm over it. I'm over it. That happens. But I just, only pushback I really have is the numbers indicate week in, week out, for the last 5 years, to the last couple years specifically, they rate higher than any other team. And I just think had they gotten in the postseason, people would have hate watched. Come on, Josh Allen, beat them. Or come on, Drake May, beat them. Or come on, Justin Herbert, finally get it done against them. And it would have been, or people saying, here they go. They got in. Now they're about to do a Super Bowl run again. And I think people would have still been watching to either hate or love them. And you need that in sports sometimes.
I think they had just run its course. I don't think that they weren't the same watch. That was the problem or the frustrating part about the Chiefs is that they just weren't the same team. And it was the skinnier all last year. Skinnier teeth. Most of the time, people turned the games off and was like, they shouldn't have won. Like they shouldn't have won that game. And I'm saying that is the difference between watching them of recent compared to before. Because I think
I don't disagree. I don't. They were much more exciting.
Am I right? Like they
running
were
up 35, 40 points a game every
game. They
game.
were must see, and they were must see. You couldn't believe it. The passes, all the stuff that was done.
All right, Rob, so they're watching us right now, which means another thing they can do is what?
They can subscribe. All you got to do is hit that button, subscribe to The Odd Couple for some of the best sports talk content in the nation.
Facts, and while you're at it, they can like, they can comment, they can share. Do all that for us. We appreciate it. Just do all that right up in here.